Welcome back, everybody, to the TSL4 semi-finals. Keen versus Life, MVP versus StarTale. We're about to load into Metropolis, and of course, this is where Keen has to change the series around. Any predictions on how you think this is going to map out?
I gotta be honest with you here, man. I think that Life is gonna take this game, but I don't want to count Keen out at that point either because the next few maps are not quite as bad as this one for Keen. You know, after this will be Ohana. That's definitely doable for a TVZ.
Yeah.
Not that it's like really heavily Terran favored or something, but that's definitely one we see good Terran players kill good Zergs. And Entombed, it's pretty even overall. And then Antigua, which is a map that Zergs historically have had a pretty hard time with. So I think Keen can still bring it back, but I feel like with the way Life is playing, with how big this map is, you gotta give Life this one.
No, I really agree with what you're saying, especially just looking over the map pool once again. Daybreak initially, then Cloud, then Metropolis, Ohana, Entombed, Antigua, and then finally Daybreak. It starts off rough for Keen, there's no doubt in that, but it gets better. So if he's able to weather the storm, then this series could easily turn around, and we're going to have to find out now as we load in to map number 3. It's going to be Metropolis. Alright, we're in the game and we are loaded, we are playing, we are ready to go. On the left-hand side of this map, the blue player playing as Terran, representing MVP. It is none other than Keen.
And then over on the right-hand side of the map, our red Zerg, he's up 2-0 in exactly the spot that he wants against where Keen has spawned. It is StarTale's Life.
Alright, there are islands on this map, as we can note. With a crit tumor, it's going to be a little bit annoying if you do want to take these on, but historically, we've seen some fantastic games map out on Metropolis in every single matchup, so very much so looking forward to this, on how this is going to map out. A very big map, Metropolis, so going to be a lot more difficult for Keen to use those Hellion Banshee plays, because it's just going to take twice as long to get across the creep, even though you can argue the point that creep is a little bit more difficult to connect to a third base. That's easily cancelled out with the long way that Terran have to travel.
Yeah, I mean, Zerg is always going to be ready for their timing attack. I would be so unbelievably surprised if Keen chose this map for something like, let's say, a Marine Marauder Stim timing, or even a Marauder Hellion timing. I feel like this is, if Keen's ever going to go double command center right away, go it here. But no, he's going to get gas on one base. Okay, we'll see what you have going, Keen.
He could be playing the image of what you just said. We saw that previously, and he could be saying, well, on this map and cross positions, it is more difficult for Zerg players to get overlords in position. It's going to be a lot harder for Life to scout exactly what I'm doing here. And I, would have agreed that this would have been the map that he goes double command center right off the bat. One barracks, command center straight to a second one, and be really greedy in terms of economy. But if he's trying to play the mind game on what Life could potentially be thinking that he's doing, and he does the opposite, then he could get better results because the defense could be lowered for Life.
So true, so true. Now, will he actually proxy tech? Will he make it in his main base? It's really hard to say here, because this is pretty darn all in, man. If he doesn't get damage done with this, then it's going to be downhill from there, because he's never going to get damage done. He's never going to catch up economy-wise. And in fact, Life has already gotten a gas, so I feel like he's already just saying, all right, this map's huge, I have an advantage, why don't I just spend a little bit of my advantage getting quicker speed?
And Keen sees that, and that must be a little bit of an annoyance for him to go in and see gas so early on. Why is it there? Why does he have gas? But the factory's down, and it looks like we are going to have a reactor on that barrack, so a bit of an old-school build. Maybe able to catch Life off guard, perhaps. But we'll have to see, because there is an Overlord in a very good position outside of the natural of Keen. In that position where it's going to see Hellions go east, and it also see them go north. Depends on if they're hugging the ramp, though. So that's going to be a very important factor on if Life can actually see what's coming to him.
So true, man. If he hugs that ramp, though, and gets up there, then he's going to have a period of time where he can actually do some damage. But I feel like he's going to move out with his first 2 Hellions. I don't know that he's going to wait for 4. Now, if he waited for 4 and got up there undetected, that can be game-ending. But with 2, how many drones can you really kill?
Yeah, not many is the answer. answer to that one, unfortunately. So we are going to have the Hellions make their way out. There's no waypoint on the factory yet, so we don't know what his plan with the Hellions is going to be. The SUV in the top left is going to get picked off by these Lings. Lings do shut down all of Keen's vision in this game. He no longer has any information on whether that gas so early on has been now transitioned into an aggressive roach bailing attack, whether a second gas has been taken, or whether a third base has been taken either. But Keen, if you look at the waypoint, is actually going to hide those initial 2 Hellions.
Oh, very good choice here. Now, will he go at 4, or will he maybe even wait for 6? And here's the other part. Does it matter? Because we have life already with speed, almost done, and he went for 4 queens immediately. So 4 queens plus speedlings, plus he's already pushing his creep out. Gonna be really hard to get anything done. And oh my god, the Hellions just went right by the Overlord. In fact, they split up to make sure that the Overlord saw how many there were.
And Life knows what's coming. He has speed on the way. He already has 4 queens out here. Combine that with the amount of Lings that are going to be coming out right now. Oh, look, he's even building drones at this very point in time. He is very confident with how this is going to go. These queens doing damage. Lings are ready to accept to the top of the map, and they do get that block.
God, that was brutal right there for Keen. I'm sure his heart sank as those Zerglings were at the top of the ramp. Going around, though, he does get 3 drone kills there, but that actually will probably be it. Yeah, all the Hellions going to go down. So now Keen has sacrificed a huge amount of economy getting out quick Hellions, and what has he done? He's killed 3 drones and, like, 3 Lings or so? I mean, he's done almost nothing.
And this is really, really bad here for Keen, of course. It looks like he's going for attempt number 2 with the medivac on the way. He's going to hide it away from these Lings initially. These Lings are going to try and make their way to the natural, and they do. They will, of course, get shut down. He has a quick poke up the ramp, sees no stim on the barracks. Sees nothing being made from it either. And he may start to get a bit of a hint on what's going on. Could potentially see that a starport could have been made. He's only building Lings at the moment.
Yeah, you know, why not? Make a ton of Lings. He already has the 3 hatches. He knows how quick those Hellions were. He doesn't need extra drones right now. What he needs is to keep the drones he has alive. So we'll see if he can actually do that, because this drop is incoming and all the Lings are in the natural. And in fact, running away right now, the Overlord does spot it. Will he turn around? No, Life has no idea, and just now turning around.
Oh, I was looking through his vision and he saw it just as they landed. That is a little bit unfortunate because a lot of drones will die here. The Lings are trying to make their way back. Only a handful. Oh no! They're going to get caught by the mineral patch. Only a handful of drones actually go down there. Not what Keen really wanted once again. Another attempt is failed. And behind this, Keen has no units. He has no engineering base. He has no production either. And he actually has very, very little defense set up.
Well, you know, I don't know that we'll see a counterattack, and he only killed 8 drones there, as you mentioned, but Keen, I mean, he's making another command center. He's getting ready for all of his bio, and we do have Life doing a little attack here at the front, and in fact, he will break through, but these Lings aren't really going to do that much damage.
Yeah, they shouldn't do too much. As long as this Hellions microed well, there's a medivac to help out too, and another Marine does fall down. It doesn't look like he's going to use the medivac, but the Lings will eventually fall. Nothing really dealt there to Keen, or damage dealt, should I say. An SUV or 2 picked off, but right now, in terms of state of the game, we're looking at a decent lead setup by Life, because he has 1-1 halfway through. He has the infestation pit down. He has 3 hatcheries. The only thing really missing probably is just the drones, because he has been under intense pressure, and all he needs to do is build and press that D button right now.
Yeah, he needs to press that D button quite a bit, because Keen did get that 3rd command center. And at this point, with this type of creep spread, good tech already out, his upgrades going, yeah, he just needs to drone like a madman, because Keen is not going to be attacking forever. In fact, if we take a quick look at the unit tab, right now Keen's army consists of a Hellion, a Viking that's in the red, and 2 Marines. That, I mean, we could have Life make 2 hatches right now and he'd be in good shape.
And, you know, for a lot of people watching this game, maybe like, well, you know, we've had Keen try 2 different attempts. Why is he not actually further behind than he should be? Because he doesn't have any units, because he's cut corners to get back into this game, to try to even it up a little bit. And those corners cut were absolutely the army, and the production was very lately delayed too. But right now we have 2-2 on the way for Life. Pathogen Glands, a Bailey Nest, a 4th base should absolutely follow anytime soon now as well. And he's just playing his own game. He's just not even really focusing on what Keen's doing. As long as he doesn't take a 3rd base, I don't think Life really cares.
And in fact, Life is making a lot of lanes right now. I'm actually a little bit surprised by that. I feel like he doesn't really need that many right now. His creep spread is out so far that Keen couldn't even commit there. If he wanted to, it would take him a long time to actually push that creep back into a comfortable position. But, you know, he is getting his 2-2, as you said, Apollo. The Infestors are on the way, the Baneling Nest almost done, but Keen is going to take his third base and actually have it mining just as Life takes his fourth.
And Life may try to pressure this third base. He knows it has to be taken soon. He knows the advantage, or disadvantage, should I say, with Keen is he doesn't really have that many units here. And with 6 Infestors, 7 Infestors coming, that's a lot of infested Terrans again. And we may see an assault to this third base, simply because Keen just doesn't have enough units. And we'll have to see if Keen's defense is going to be set up a lot more lanes in that production tab. And they're going to be spiking well over that 50 lane mark momentarily here, pushing up to 60, with more and more units being made.
Oh, Apollo, look at this hive timing, by the way. Just beautiful, beautiful hive timing going on. It's like, actually, as far as I'm concerned, that's a perfect timing by him. Right now, the second factory is just finishing up, the third base is just landing, and 2-2 is just finishing for Life. So, I mean, this is an impossible time for him to be attacked, which means that it's a perfect time to tech up into that final level.
And all one Fungal goes down here, and I don't think this attack is going to work out as well as Life thinks. There's 2 tanks on the high ground. His Marines are very well spread out. They do not have any, or they just now, sorry, get their armor upgrades. They will be a bit more durable in a few moments of time, but with the position that Keen's set up here, as long as he doesn't like leave all his units, that's a pretty much unbreakable position he's in, and I think Life knows it as he backs out and it does start to take those extractors and drone up towards that 4th base.
Yeah, and look at this creep spread right now. Hold on, though. Keen does have a drop going over towards the 4th of Life. Where are his units? Actually, he has a very good rally on those, and 2-2 has finished, so he will be able to force a lift-off here by Keen. A good try by Keen, but not going to work out this time.
And Keen does have another drop in the bottom right too, aiming for the main base. I'm not sure if Life has actually seen it. His army movement suggests that he doesn't, as he is still occupied in the top left with that other medivac. So we'll have to see if this one's going to get a bit of damage done. This is really nice moving of his army here by Keen, doing little bits of damage where he can. And he is starting to move out with his entire army and going to start clearing out this creep. As, oh no, look at that medivac actually turned around. I'm not sure why he decided to turn around unless he's hopping with his army.
Yeah, that might actually be it. That was a kind of weird turnaround here. But look, Keen now trying to push back this creep a little bit. The thing is, we have Ultras on the way, 3-3, Chitin's plating, we have everything going on for Life. But they're at similar supplies right now, already trying to go in here and get something done, but I feel like he should maybe save that Infestor energy a little bit longer.
Yeah, the Infestor energy, if he just doesn't attack now, waits for all these upgrades and Ultras, he's going to have probably the scariest army of the series so far. Unfortunately for Keen, he doesn't really have what it takes to hold on against that. He's going to have to use position so much here. High ground, low ground, mid ground, spreading out the tanks, spreading out his Marine Rollers, because if he takes a direct fight, there is no way. There is no way on God's earth that he's actually going to win a fight against this heavy upgraded Zerg army.
That is so true. Very well said, Apollo. And another thing to point out is he only has 1 tech lab on his barracks, so he cannot produce many Marauders, which is really what he's going to need right now against the Fungals, against the Lings, and especially against the Ultras.
And there is a drop in the main base here by Keen. Gonna start to look for an angle in, but it's already been spotted. He's not moving out. There's Spines and Lings ready. Infest is coming to charge in, and unfortunately for Keen, another attempt at harassment has been shut down. But he is managing to take his 4th base. There is a borrowed Ling being a bit of a nuisance. At the same time, Keen's even moving out in the center.
He is pushing back that creep. I love the multitasking, even though he's losing some of these things. But we do have a God Drop coming into the main base. 3 big medevacs full of units here. And at this point, all the units of Life are in the center, charging down Keen's little army. And in fact, he might lose all his siege tanks. In fact, he definitely will. But Keen is doing a nice drop in the main base.
Oh, Keen has to set offense. No, it doesn't matter because the Ultras are running home, and Keen has won that war right there. He's won it, and he gets a lot of damage down in the main base. It's still a long way to go as the units Infestors don't come back. The Spires from his troops, we're going to see Broodlord shortly, but a lot of damage down. He can't quite bring down the hive. That would have been a great position for Keen to be in. Now he's got his 4th base set up, but Keen's fighting, and he's not willing to give up at this point.
You know, I like the thought process in Keen's moves there, but definitely Life came out on top. Just lost a little bit of his tech, some of his drones and extractors, whatever. He lost a lot of siege tanks, though, Keen did. And now everything is just set up for Life. He even killed off 2 of those medevacs and all the Marines there, too.
Yeah, and these Ultras fully upgraded. The tanks have no upgrades. They have just 1+1 attack damage. The Marines are 2-1. The armor's not even going to complete them, unfortunately. And the Ultras come crashing through. Bullets are like a pea shooter to these Ultras at the moment, and it is not good. Charging down that 4th base, and Keen's in trouble. He's protecting his 3rd, but this 4th is gone.
That's right, the 4th is in fact on, but we have another huge drop in the main base of Life, and in fact the Greater Spire will be sniped, and the Hive will be sniped as well, so Reset does go the tech. That means that we're going to have to see pure Ultra, but the Ultras are attacking directly into the natural. Now, can they break through? Some nice choke pointing here by Keen, but it looks like Life might possibly have too much.
Such an awesome drop by Keen in the main. There's another drop on the 5th, but if Keen can somehow hold on against these Ultras on his front door, he could be in a decent position. He's got a good economy set up, and it's a very tense moment right now for both of these guys. Keen is, he's got so many units on that natural, and the Lings are doing not the damage necessarily, losing so many Lings, but he will be able to clean it up, and at the same time, the Ultras are going rampant on this 3rd.
Indeed they are. There are just a few Ultras left, though. The Infestors are out of energy, and eventually he will clean this up. He has to be careful not to lose all his SCVs, though. In the meantime, there has been another drop at the 5th base of Life, which was taken out during all this. So Keen still somehow staying in the game, despite being down by half the supply of Life.
Yeah, it's just these Ultras, they just won't die. The zoning Marines here, they do not have the upgrades compared to the Ultras that do. Eventually, they fall, but Life now is in a good position. He's got 5 more Ultras on the way, and as long as he just keeps on spending that money, then he's going to walk away with a 3-0 lead in this game, and that's all he really needs to do. Keen, though, on the other hand, he needs to pray. He needs to get defenses set back up tanks. He's only on 1 factory autosis in a disastrous position to be in.
Yeah, and with 16 Banes morphing, with the Infestors regaining energy, a few more Ultras and Lings on the way as well, he's not going to have enough tanks, he's not going to have enough Marauders, he's not going to have enough anything. It looks like this should be the final battle of this game.
It should indeed, and luck comes crashing in. Bailings, Infestors, and Ultras with more and more units on the way. Everything gets fumbled, and unfortunately here for Keen, even the SCVs go down. GG is called. And, well, I'm going to put it out there. I did not expect a 3-0 lead so, mapping out like this so early on.
Yeah, Keen, he's taken a couple risks. He did 1 basically normal build and 2 kind of risky early aggressions, but Life is just, his defense is looking beautiful. So at this point, if Keen doesn't pull it back in and play just standard macro for the next few games, I don't know that he's going to have any chance with these early aggressions.
Yeah, this is not good for Keen, and I really did predict that Keen would be able to, I initially thought this would be a 4-2, maybe a 4-3. I thought it'd be close, but I did not expect Life to come out with a 3-0 initially here, and he's playing a fantastic set of games. The next map, though, is, like you said, Ohana, and I guess we can talk about that a little bit more in depth after this quick commercial break.